Hey, Brad.
Hello, Patrick.
There are more games on the eShop.
The up-and-coming digital distribution platform for the 3DS.
I have been spending a decent amount of money on the eShop.
Yeah.
I start this sarcastically every time, but I feel like at some point...
One day you're gonna mean it.
It sort of drives the point home of just, sort of the meme of Nintendo stuff, is their digital efforts have not been that great, but Nintendo themselves have put out a decent number of games on the 3DS eShop, and third parties are also kind of picking up the slack.
Such as Renegade Kid.
Yeah, Renegade Kid. They've done a number of... They've been one of the, those companies that have really supported the Nintendo platforms for better or worse for their own hopes and dreams. But their new one, Mutant, just launched on the eShop. It's $8.99, so it is one of the pricier titles on the eShop. But my understanding is the game started as a DSiWare project, and then at some point it made more sense rather than come out at the end of the cycle of a hardware where its digital efforts were not that respected to maybe come onto the new platform where there seemed to be
so this never
new
actually
energy.
made it to the DS.
No. And so we'll jump into one of the first level just to give you a good little simple sense of what we're talking about. One, it comes across as really simple visuals, but the 3D in this game, not unlike Super Mighty Force, the Way Forward game from a couple weeks ago, looks amazing in 3D. Because you have sort of the layering of the background and foreground,
right.
It's really effective without the developer having to do too much.
Like they really have some artistic control over like the depth and what is where. Because I mean they're working with discrete layers.
Exactly.
Instead of like a smooth gradient of depth, so they can kind of tune stuff, I guess, to their liking.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about a player messing around with a camera, and this works really well, especially for again, it doesn't come across in the way we're capturing, but like when you're doing this stuff and you're jumping back and forth.
Oh yeah.
And the way it plays with the dimensions, or you come back and you get really close. And the game does a good job of messing with your head a number of times where you'll see. I'll get even closer to the screen now. Yeah. So
wow,
if
that's actually really cool.
If you imagine what that must look like when it's popping out of the screen a little bit, it screws with your head when you're trying to do just basic platforming, but also it looks really freaking cool.
Tell me about VLAND.
So VLAND is one of these is the secret stages. So the reason there is not much going on in the stage right now is because I had already cleared it. So you see you've got these different doors along the bottom. I don't know where those doors go, but as you're clearing stages, you're collecting these little gold diamonds, and you can go to Granny's attic. And I think we're going to solve why I have not figured out one of those pipes, because there are secret doors in, I don't know if it's in each of the stages or some of the stages, but you're collecting these diamonds which allow you to purchase power-ups from Granny's attic. For example, there's one that, I think the second one gives you a longer hover, and then the third one gives you a bigger vertical jump. So there are things that doors you'll come across that there's nothing you can do with them because you just don't have the abilities to access them yet.
A little bit of a Metroid-y aspect, though.
Yeah, so I think this is again a stage I've already completed, but just before we booted this up, I collected enough to get the first power-up. So I think I'll be able to find out what the secret room is, and then... Yeah, this game is real simple, but in a really pleasant and kind of brilliant way. So it's got just jumping, shooting, floating, and doesn't really evolve too much over that. You get this slightly more powerful gun, but that is only used to unlock secret doors. You get a longer hover or a bigger vertical jump, but at the end of the day, what the game ends up being about is just really, really challenging basic platforming. And that's kind of nice sometimes. It's just, say what you're used to. So now I can blast this open, and we're gonna find out what the secret room is.
Head off to G-Land.
Oh man, dude, this is, whoa. This is like old Game Boy.
Kinda, yeah. Oh, grayscale. Oh. How challenging are we talking? Is this like Meat Boy level of hard, or a little friendlier than that?
A little friendlier than that. If you want to be collecting all of the stuff, it's really challenging. Oh god, I don't even know how to do this. Okay. I mean, I'll jump to one of the later stages that I've been messing with after I see where this secret portal takes me to. But there's a time limit at the bottom. You only get 3 hits, and these guys can be some real dicks. So it is.
They kind of look that way.
It is not uncommon to die in this game. Oh man. Okay.
You got this.
I think I'm just gonna die.
Let's go for it. Oh, nicely done.
Okay. And
hanging by a thread here.
I know.
Whoa.
Okay.
Something tells me you're gonna go back there. That is really neat. I have to see that 3D.
Yeah, it looks really terrific in 3D.
I wish we could figure out a way to record that properly.
I know.
And then mail a pair of 3D glasses to everyone who watches the Quick Look.
Exactly. God damn it. Okay. So I guess the easier way would be to jump over him. So you can see I got the end of the level is in sight. Oh, okay, so this the upgraded gun I have also extends the length of my shot. Part of the problem in some of the more difficult stages is literally you have to put yourself in really compromising positions just in order to attack the enemies and get them out of the way.
So your gun starts out.
Oh man, okay, so I don't have a platform. I'm gonna have to hover down.
No!
Oh, got it. Woo.
God.
That was terrifying.
I thought it was all over.
That was terrifying.
Whew.
Okay, so it actually looks like, so you'll see that second spot filled out. And so that would seem to tell me that there are secret doors in each of these stages. So even though you're seeing 15 stages in front of us, there's actually 30. And then I would have to assume that each of those doors probably opens up some sort of really hard stage later on.
So a significant amount of content.
Yeah, there's a lot. So for $8.99, that's like that's kind of a strange price point because it's not 5, it's not 10, but it's.
Well, Push Mode was 7, wasn't it? Like they've been kind of all over the place with that stuff.
So you see that dick of a small dude.
Oh man.
So in order to get all of these, the power-ups which are required to kind of see all the content, you do need to be mindful of these. All the diamonds and trying to collect them, and the game will constantly try and bait you into making really terrible moves in order to get them. And it does a really good job of just like this one. So if I stand over that that jump pad to try and reach that, I won't be able to get it. So I have to jump to that. Because the moment you do that, then
need a little finesse.
You do need a little finesse, and so it sometimes requires you to go back. But you know, it's always really fun to try and get everything on the first go. That's just kind of how I like to play, but it definitely. Oh man! All right.
Yeah, you got all the coins in Mario 3D Land. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how you did that.
100% in Mario 3D Land.
Did you fill out each stage as you went?
Yeah. I just did it as I did each one, and it really wasn't that difficult as long as you're paying attention. If you're making that a priority, they kind of become pretty obvious. The only reason I ended up 100%ing it was because there was a lot of football on, and so I had a lot of time just sitting on the couch, sometimes watching games that I wanted to know how they turned out, but wasn't necessarily that invested in. So when I had to go through every stage all over again, which was not the most enjoyable thing in the world, that at least gave me. So see, this is what I love this. So in the background, there are platforms, but as you're jumping from these tiny little platforms to the other ones, those look like things you can land on.
I was thinking that.
And then you've got the enemies in the background that look like maybe those are enemies that are going to interact with you. And if you look, there's a whole third layer of things going on way back there.
There's a staggering number of layers going on here.
And that's definitely where the complexity of the game comes from, is not necessarily the most difficult platforming, but that there's just a lot going on, and especially when you have the 3D on, it's really tricking you.
I bet that the 3D must make it easier to kind of manage.
It does,
you sort of subconsciously just register what's where a little bit better.
Okay.
Whoop! Aw. Seems like this might.
I had all 100 coins too. Let's see.
Had it all, and then you lost it all.
All right. Well, I'll show a quick ice stage, and then this basically is.
That's Mutant Mud.
This is Mutant Muds.
Seems like this might not be a bad football game.
No.
Short levels and.
Yeah, each stage is, you're talking the time limits are usually 4 minutes long.
Yeah, that's about right.
So, regardless of whether you're doing well or not well, the stages are not that long. And,
Right.
and yeah, there's 100 diamonds in each stage, and so you have sort of a secondary objective if you want to see all the other content. But you know, I mean, 15 stages isn't bad on its face for a handheld game, and then you make that 30, and then you add the 4, what looks like sort of super secret ones if you manage to go through everything, and suddenly you're looking at 34 stages, and yeah, if you know, so yeah, there's another secret one, and I don't have the vertical boost. I need 1,200 additional gold diamonds in order to get to that, so I won't be able to access that stage for a lengthy period of time.
Boost off to G-Land.
Yeah, but you know, that's Mutant Mudds. It's
cool.
if you have a 3DS, you're looking for new things to do with it. This is absolutely a great way to spend a couple bucks.
I do, and I am, so I'll have to give it a look.
Yeah, so that is Mutant Mudds from Renegade Kid. Is out now on the eShop.
Cool,
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.